But what we don't talk about is, Canelo. Steroids. Y'all don't talk about that. Well, come on, man. That kid was a cakewalk.
Wrong. Canelo always has had a problem with boxers. He always struggles when he fights a boxer. Anybody knows that if you can box and take a punch, you're going to give him a hard time. Bud is not one of these guys that's going to quit.
Spud Crawford soundly defeating Canelo Alvarez. We thought that maybe he could have won by even a further margin on the scorecards. He gets it done unanimously. Teddy, can you put into words what we just saw from Terence Crawford?
Well, the only thing I wonder is if Crawford was born and made in a laboratory.
Floyd Mayweather didn't hold back after Canelo Alvarez's defeat to Terence Crawford. He mocked Canelo, saying the Mexican superstar is no longer the fighter he once was, and argued that fans have overrated his status for years. Mayweather added that he had faith in Crawford from the very beginning, so much so that he put $50,000 on him to win. The bet cashed in big, with receipts surfacing online showing Floyd walking away with a serious payday. As for Canelo, the loss didn't break his composure. He gave Crawford full credit, calling him a great fighter who earned the victory, but he also made it clear that he's far from finished. Canelo insisted he still feels physically strong and mentally sharp, and even hinted at a possible rematch down the line. His response reflected the mentality of a true competitor, one who refuses to back down when his pride and legacy are at stake.
I can say to him, I feel great to share the ring with great fighters like him, and if we do it again, it's gonna be great. But you know what? I'm glad to share the ring with great fighters, and I'm glad to be here. I already did a lot in boxing. I already accomplished a lot in boxing. My legacy is already there, and I am still taking risks because I love boxing.
If you continue, do you feel like this is still the Canelo Alvarez that we've all known and loved for all these years? Or do you feel like something's changed? Are you still the fighter that you were?
No, I feel great. I feel strong. You know, Crawford is a great fighter, skilled fighter. And I get the credit to Crawford, obviously. And I feel great. I still feel the same.
Ryan Garcia didn't hold back in his reaction to Terence Crawford's dominant victory. He went on social media and praised the performance in a massive way, even saying, "I actually believe Crawford may be the best fighter of all time." Garcia explained that Crawford's display of skill, composure, and mindset proves he belongs in a legendary category, the kind of greatness boxing fans rarely get to witness. Meanwhile, veteran trainer and analyst Teddy Atlas offered his breakdown of the fight. He drew parallels to Canelo Alvarez's earlier loss to Floyd Mayweather, pointing out that Canelo has consistently struggled with quicker, sharper opponents. Atlas emphasized that Alvarez's footwork and hand speed have always been weak spots, and Crawford exposed them once again. Despite a year of inactivity, Crawford came in hungry, prepared, and executed perfectly. His timing and movement completely neutralized Canelo's power, just as Mayweather's precision once did years ago. For Atlas, the fight was proof of Canelo's limitations against elite technicians. But for Crawford, the win didn't just add to his resume, it elevated his legacy into all-time territory.
From the beginning, that if you go back, and I know it was a lot of years ago, I get it, but you have to have something to point at. If you go back to when he lost his first fight, of course Canelo I'm talking about, to Mayweather, it wasn't just that his hands were too slow, his feet were too slow. And he's in there with a guy with quick feet and quicker hands. You know what? It doesn't matter how big he is. What did Ali say? Your hands cannot hit what your eyes cannot see. That was tonight. It was great.
Let's put some context on this.
It was great.
Let's put some context on this victory first. A year out of the ring. I think it was like 13 some odd months out of the ring, okay?
Yeah, really?
Yeah. 2 weight classes. Think about that.
Yep.
He had surgery early at the beginning of the year. Surgery on the shoulder surgery, right? Not sure which one. And to come in here and to put on that type of performance against Canelo that actually is coming off a performance, right? You expected Canelo to be sharp. He was sharp. However, what Crawford did was he took the air out of the ball.
Yep.
He used this. That's what boxing's about, people. It's about this. Strategy. That's what he had. He used his feet. He understood Canelo every single movement. That's why Canelo couldn't land any shots on him. He knew it was coming. He knew that the looping right hand was going to come from the southpaw position. So what did he do? Hold the phone. He knew that the hook to the body was gonna come. What did he do? Block, and he shot up with counters.
One of his great assets that we don't hear about enough. One of those things that are not so easily as immeasurable on paper, but it's eyes, vision.
Focus.
Yeah, we know the physical ones we talk about and we understand so easily. Speed, power, quickness, legs, all that stuff. But eyes, just radar. This guy's got infrared.
Sports journalist Ariel Helwani was quick to confirm what most fans had already seen with their own eyes. He posted the official result on social media. Terence Crawford defeats Canelo Alvarez via unanimous decision, with scores of 116 to 112, 115 to 113, and 115 to 113. The verdict showed that while the contest was competitive, the judges consistently favored Crawford's work round after round. Helwani's update spread instantly, sealing the moment in history. Crawford had just toppled one of boxing's biggest icons. The scorecards reflected not only victory, but a calculated, disciplined performance that reinforced Crawford's reputation as one of the sport's most complete fighters. Reigning champion Teofimo Lopez also weighed in with high praise. He highlighted that this was a rare clash between two of the best fighters in the world, and in his eyes, the right man emerged victorious. Lopez went even further, saying Crawford now deserves recognition among the top 10 fighters of all time. For him, it wasn't just about winning the fight. It was a style, composure, and flawless execution that elevated Crawford into the history books. Such respect coming from an active champion underscored just how monumental this win was, not just for Crawford's legacy, but for boxing itself.
In terms of his prime, how can you gauge it?
Doesn't matter. We saw a great fight tonight, did we not? That's all that matters. Two guys risked it, and the better man won tonight. That was Crawford.
Terence got it right. Is there no need for a rematch, or do you want to see running back? Because it was pretty good, like you said.
No, it was it was really good, actually. Yeah. So it's up to the jam. He's a jam. He can do whatever he wants.
What do you think happens with Canelo next after this?
What happens to Canelo after this? It don't matter. He's made a big statement for not only Mexico or the pride of Mexico, but for all Latinos right there. So he's done a great job for himself, man. Nevertheless, Crawford is on his way, continuing to create greatness.
Mentally.
What's up?
You called it for Crawford earlier. What did you see that made you call it like that?
I know boxing. I just know stylistically. I've been in the gym with. I've shared the ring with Canelo, and then I see that. So
they were saying that if he beats Canelo, it could put him as even the greatest of all time. What does that put him in the all-time list, man?
At least top 10.
At least
top 10 or top 15, easily. There's guys that we may not know of or heard of, like Henry Armstrong. Simultaneously, he was 3 divisions carrying all 3 weight divisions at the same time.
Which performance was better? I don't like to compare them, but Crawford or Mayweather's over Canelo. Like it's just different.
It's just different styles, different looks.
At the post-fight press conference, Canelo Alvarez was pressed on what it was like sharing the ring with both Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford. His answer immediately made headlines. Canelo admitted that Crawford left a stronger impression, particularly in the championship rounds where sharpness and control often decide the outcome. He didn't hold back, remarking, "I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather." That bold claim not only highlighted the respect he has for Crawford's skill, but also ignited heated debate among fans and analysts. Could Crawford truly stand above Mayweather in terms of all-time greatness? The comparison between the two legends has now become one of the most talked about topics in boxing circles.
In the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence Bud Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
In the wake of his defeat, questions immediately began swirling around Canelo Alvarez's future. His tone and body language suggested retirement could be on his mind, especially now that Terence Crawford has shifted the spotlight of boxing firmly onto himself. Analysts described the bout as a masterclass, Crawford outthinking, outmaneuvering, and ultimately schooling Canelo with superior ring IQ and adaptability. For Crawford, this victory isn't just another belt. It's already being framed as historic. Many now place him among the greatest fighters of his generation, if not of all time. For Canelo, however, the loss sparks uncertainty. Has his reign at the top finally run its course? Or does he still have one last chapter left to write?
was going to create history. I told you guys this before he fought Sean Porter. I said that Terence Bud Crawford can beat first ballot Hall of Famer and superstar and legend Canelo Alvarez. I've been saying this for years, that Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez. And tonight, he did just that. He did just that. Not only did he beat Canelo Alvarez tonight, but he arguably retired Canelo Alvarez, who after the fight, Canelo Alvarez stated that he's done everything that he needed to do in the sport of boxing. When asked, do he want a rematch with Terence Bud Crawford, Canelo Alvarez said, it's no need. He gave no indications of a rematch. And Canelo Alvarez stated that he's a Hall of Famer, he's a winner, just being there made him a winner, right? And he stated that he's done everything he needed to do in the sport of boxing. That's what he said. Canelo Alvarez got schooled once again. I told you guys, styles make fights. This style, this particular style of boxers and counterpunchers and movers has historically given Canelo Alvarez problems. And as I told you guys, right? Terence Crawford can fight any which way he chooses to fight. He's just that much more versatile. And everybody didn't believe me. They said I was tripping. Canelo was too big. He gonna knock out Terence Crawford, right? He too big, too strong. Terence Crawford get hit. Terence Crawford don't box, don't move. And I told you guys, when Terence Crawford wants to move and wants to box, right, he can. And he would, right? And guess what? Terence Crawford, I told you guys, when he fought the likes of Victor Postol, right? Y'all said that, oh, he don't move that much. I said, did you look at his fight with Victor Postol? Did you look at his fight with Jose Benavidez? Yeah, well, those guys ain't Canelo Alvarez. And I told you guys, it doesn't matter if they're Canelo Alvarez. It's about Terence Crawford's ability to be able to maneuver around and box in every which manner he so chooses. If he wants to incorporate that style that he boxes and moves, he could. And what did he do tonight? I said Terence Crawford could fight at every level. Didn't I tell you guys that? I said Terence Crawford can fight in mid-range. He can fight on the outside. He can fight on the inside. Canelo Alvarez cannot. Y'all ask me, why aren't you talking about what Canelo Alvarez could do great? And I told you, because we know what Canelo Alvarez is going to do. He's going to fight. He's consistent in who he is and how he fights. Period. I told you guys that.
Boxing legend Andre Ward wasted no time putting Crawford's performance into perspective. He hailed it as a historic victory and a generational fight, the kind of clash fans will be talking about for decades to come. Ward explained that moments like these don't just add to a resume, they define entire careers and separate great fighters from true legends. What impressed him most was Crawford's ability to dismantle Canelo while staying laser-disciplined across every round. For Ward, who has always prized ring intelligence and composure above all, this was a textbook example of greatness in action. He framed the win as a GOAT moment, one that elevates Crawford firmly into the conversation of the greatest fighters of all time, a status that only a handful in boxing history have ever truly achieved.
Seeing Terence Crawford create greatness and beat Canelo Alvarez tonight, what was your thoughts on that performance from Terence?
Well, Terence Crawford is great performance, man. He's been doing this throughout the course of his career. The stakes were a lot different in this fight, a lot more danger. he had to fight that kind of fight in order to beat Canelo Alvarez tonight. And he did that at 37, but getting ready to be 38 years old. And he proved, like Max said, that he is the GOAT of this generation. Hats off to Canelo for taking the fight. He didn't have to take it. Hats off to Turkey Al-Sheikh for putting it together. Just a great night for boxing.
Yeah. How special a fighter is someone like Terence Crawford? Like, there was no signs of a size disadvantage there. How special?
You can see it in spots, but it wasn't significant. And I didn't think it was going to be significant. And people call me crazy, but I've been around Terence. He's strong. He's got a wrestling background, and people don't realize that he's been boiling himself down all these years and still being successful, not having to do that. His condition seemed impeccable, and his strength was there, the power was there enough to get respect from Canelo. So what more can I say?
What would you like to see him do next? Do you think there's another fight after this?
I'd like to see him be done. What are we boxing for at this point? What else is there to do? There's always going to be a YouTuber or a reporter or somebody conjuring up another challenge. We box to get ourselves in a better financial position, to build a name and a legacy. Those boxes are checked. What else are we doing?
Rising star Keyshawn Davis, who views Crawford as both a mentor and an inspiration, reacted with raw excitement and pride. He didn't hesitate to call Crawford one of the GOATs, a label young fighters rarely use so freely unless the performance truly demands it. Davis praised how Crawford executed his game plan with surgical precision, never allowing Canelo to find a rhythm. For him, this fight wasn't just another win on Crawford's record. It was a masterclass proving that greatness is built on skill, intelligence, and relentless hard work. His reaction echoed the sentiment of the next generation, that Crawford's victory isn't only about cementing a legacy today, but about inspiring tomorrow's champions to chase that same level of excellence.
What's up, bro? Yes, sir.
What do you think made the difference?
The speed, really.
Yeah.
I think it was the main factor. Canelo couldn't really keep up with him. He was too fast. His feet, footwork was too good.
Do you think the scores was right on, or do you think maybe it was a little more towards Bud?
What was the scorecards?
115, 113, 116, 112.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
I feel like Bud damn near basically won every round. So
yeah,
honestly. But yeah, that's about right. You can say that.
Now with this accomplishment, Keyshawn, is he on the Mount Rushmore of
Hell
boxers?
Yeah. Yes. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
3-time undisputed. He just beat Canelo.
Yeah.
The face of boxing. So now you can say Bud is the face of boxing.
Greatest of all time, or
greatest of all time?
Yeah.
I don't feel like it can never be one great, but he definitely one of the greatest of all time for sure.
Former heavyweight champion Lennox Lewis didn't sugarcoat his reaction. He openly questioned how any judge could have given Canelo 5 rounds, insisting that Crawford was a more effective fighter from start to finish. Lewis pointed out a long-standing truth. Canelo has always struggled against movers, and Crawford's agility exposed that weakness once again. While he admitted he expected more explosive exchanges, Lewis still praised the technical brilliance that carried the night. His assessment cut deep, framing the fight as another example of Canelo's stylistic vulnerability and a showcase of Crawford's adaptability, which completely neutralized a Mexican champion's offense.
It's a beautiful performance, exactly what I expected. All I want to see was Creed take the punch. If he take a punch, we knew what would happen to that.
Did you expect him to trade with Canelo like that on the inside?
Yes, we spoke on the airplane going to Dubai.
Yeah.
The only thing I told him was that you could not give Canelo the center of the ring. And earlier you gave it to him, but then he started outboxing him and outsmarting with it, and he started taking it back at the right time. So he studied his film very well. He knew when to fight, when to move left and when to move right. It was a very smart fight. He completely frustrated Canelo.
Did you score it, Roy?
Huh?
Did you score it?
No, I didn't score it, but I think probably something like 8-4.
8-4?
Yep.
What do you think should happen next, Roy?
I have no clue.
Crawford put himself amongst the all-time greats like yourself with that.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
5-weight world champion,
Yes.
3-weight undisputed champion.
Yes.
Where are you putting him in the all-time list?
Hard to beat that.
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned for the next update, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss out on the latest boxing and MMA news.